Dirty white gotta be like that.
Oh, honey, I'd only do it to you.
Tell the folks at home what you're gonna do. Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna do it all.
All night long?
Oh, yeah.
You gonna do it crazy style?
It's not even right.
You gonna do it wicked way or crazy style?
Wicked way and crazy style.
Oh.
We're fucking the shit up right now.
Oh, you can't say that on the air.
Everything that's considered viable for this generation is pure fiction. I mean, nothing is real anymore. The society and its cultures and its subcultures and its cults and these fads and these cliques, you know, it's all muted. Everything is all watered down and everything is really mundane and it's all browns and tans and oranges and yellows and there's no more like room for greens or blues or purples or reds. Like, I don't know why that is. Like, how did we get from there to here? We're on the verge on a total meltdown. And the MTVs and the Pepsi Colas, your glamour magazines, they aren't gonna save you. It's not the answer. It's definitely time to kick up some noise. I sort of think that the mustache and all that it represents is kind of a way to break through all that mundane brownness. I used to be kind of wound up, you know, and like the only time when I really felt like I was doing any good is if I was on a stage or if I was doing something creative. When I graduated high school, like, you know, I vowed never to step in another classroom again. So for like quite a few years there, I mean, anything that I would do that would be somewhat creative would kind of be on my own terms, which was fine, but it got to the point where, you know, in order to survive, I'd have to work all these really bad, like, factory jobs, you know, and like it would take up a lot of my time, you know, and I would just be too tired to really like put anything together. And, you know, I was poor too, you know, so I couldn't really afford like any of the necessities to make, you know, good stuff happen. So like, I don't know, I just kind of came to this conclusion, like, just in the last couple of years that, like, you know, maybe I could just go to school, you know, and just like live off student loans, you know, and just like make that happen, you know, instead of really like working a job and just getting by. I think that like I could settle with being poor and getting by if I was doing something somewhat creative and like not just like dredging away in like a warehouse all day. To me, that just makes perfect sense. Like, I don't know, I don't really need a lot of money, but I need to be able to be doing something, you know, that's like an outlet for my energy. And definitely like, you know, I've always like been in bands and stuff, and that's always been an outlet, you know, but I really kind of dug like art and stuff too. So me going to school, especially art school, was just sort of my defining moment, saying, okay, I'm sick of working these jobs and I'm just gonna go to school, you know, I'm gonna quit my job, and then ultimately it leads to growing a mustache. Ideally, like, I'd like to grow a mustache someone like Tom Selleck. He always sort of like personified the ultimate mustache man. Burt Reynolds too. Actually, you know who else had a really good mustache was Fred Schneider of the B-52s. See, I think I kind of got more of a Steve Buscemi thing going. You ever seen Fargo? I think it's very close to what he looked like in that movie. The mustache is definitely on the up these days. You know, you never really saw the mustache 10 years ago. you know, and then all of a sudden it's kind of starting to come back. You definitely see all these Hollywood people strutting around with mustaches. There's like a show on TV now, and it's got that guy, I don't know his name, I don't know the name of his show, but he's got a mustache. Oh yeah, that show, it's called My Name is Earl. That guy's got a really good mustache. I kind of see that guy in, you know, other TV shows and other stuff going on these days. And that's definitely important that someone like him is in the limelight. And like that alone is kind of a signal that like we're headed in that direction. And I think it like goes back to like the Beatles' way of thinking. I use that as an example because I think that like they were sort of like in the forefront of like radical change. The line that sums up the whole thing is this quote from this Beatles book when George Harrison went on to say, "Mustaches were part of the synchronicity and the collective consciousness." And then you look at like their Sgt. Pepper, you know, their sort of like concept with the Sgt. Pepper deal. You know, and then they started growing mustaches, and then like the mustache became like synchronized to that sort of way of thinking, like we're growing our hair and we're going against the status quo. It's the most personal thing that you could have, and it's the first thing that people see when they look at you.
1, 2, 3, 4, can I have a little more?
You know, the collective consciousness kind of ties into this whole idea that like things need to change, and like, you know, now is the time to kick up some revolution. And the mustache, you know, is the starting point. It symbolizes that need to change. And the mustache kind of ties into that whole graphic design facade anyway. I mean, here you are redesigning something. I'm redesigning my face, you know? I'm growing it and I can take it away. You know, I can shave it in this shape, I can shave it in that shape. It's like Photoshop for my face. Like, what a novel idea. That is so brilliant. That's great. I don't understand, like, what you think is so offensive about the mustache. I mean, it's not like...
It's not offensive, it's just hair,
Well,
man.
yeah, I know.
It's
But,
under your nose.
I mean...
It looks goofy. I mean, it's not social
Well,
revolution.
I mean, the whole concept with, you know, the mustache equaling social revolution is that it's a personal choice that you make, you know, and you carry through with it.
What?
It's not about, like, an image. You know, is that what you think it is? Is like an image sort of like
But it's not.
concept? Because, I mean, it sort of is, but it also stands for something a lot more, too. I never really thought of myself as a mustache man. I mean, I can't grow facial hair to save my life. But, I don't know, something in me recently just said, hey man, grow a mustache. Like, let's see what happens. Let's really make some action happen. You know, it's go time. Let's do it, you know? So I thought, all right, let's grow a mustache. Let's see what happens. Mustaches everywhere. Mustaches are made of hair. Mustaches are everywhere. Mustaches are made of hair.
You need to get a mustache, because mustaches are probably the coolest thing you could possibly have. Just show everybody how sexy and awesome you are. Mustaches, they're doing it.
Mustaches are made